adventurers, welcome to my channel. This event, there were so many issues with this event. So I guess let me start off by listing the pros, because the cons is going to take up the entire rest of the video. Pros of High Times. Good food. There's a variety of options. I know there's vegetarian options, but I did not notice that there were vegan options. Music, they had some decently relevant hip-hop artists, rappers performing. This year it was Lupe Fiasco, Nas, Rick Ross, T.I., Lil Wayne, and I don't remember who else. But, you know, decently relevant if you like that kind of music. The Nas Event Center, where it was held, is actually a really nice venue. I've been there a few times for different events. It's very spacious. There's a lake with a fountain, and it's just a pretty venue to go to. Parking is secure and easy. They do have an on-site parking lot, and for this event it was $20 to park. And I did go to this event alone, and I felt completely fine going alone, like totally safe. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any other pros. I guess another one would be that there were a lot of vendors giving out free dabs and free hits. So you could go and, you know, get your smoke on, try out different things. Yeah, I think that's it as far as the pros go. So let's get into the cons. Little backstory, in California, which is where I am and where this event is located, medical marijuana was legalized prior to 2018. You would have to have your medical marijuana card, and you could go to shops and buy it, and you could also grow plants, and then you had a certain amount of marijuana that you could have possession of without getting in trouble, as long as you had your medical marijuana card. So then, as of January 1st, 2018, recreational marijuana use was legalized in the state of California. So as long as you're 21 and over, you don't need a medical marijuana card, and you can purchase, you can grow, and you can smoke marijuana without having a card or any sort of registration. So this was my first 420 event, and I thought, oh hey, it's legal now, like let me go check it out. So I signed up. I got my ticket like a week before because it was kind of a last minute decision. And then my day that I was going was Friday, which was actually 420. And Wednesday night, we found out that High Times did not get the proper permits to throw this event and to have it legal for everyone to sell weed and to smoke weed on the premises, regardless of if you had a medical marijuana card or not. So everyone was pretty upset. Like the whole internet like fucking flipped out. And everyone's like, high crimes, I'm gonna sue them, I'm gonna call my credit card company and say that, you know, it was an unauthorized charge and get the charges reversed. People flipped out. And like, I get it, you know, like you advertise it one way and it ends up not being what people expected. So I get it. I get why people were so upset. So I would think that since High Times messed up and didn't get the permits on time, that they would be willing to go back on their no refunds or exchanges policy and refund people their money because it was their bad. Well, they didn't do that. So they refused to refund the patrons and the vendors that had signed up to be at the event. That's the first thing that they did wrong. Well, I guess the first thing they did wrong was not getting the permits on time and figuring out how to actually run the event properly. Second thing they did wrong was not offering refunds. So, sorry I'm a little nasally. I'm getting over a cold, but I just wanted to, you know, get this filmed before I go to Stagecoach so that then I could just focus on the Stagecoach video after this. So, please forgive me. So then, we're like, okay, fine, there's not going to be anything sold, whatever. So then we get an email saying that the show is going on and that there won't be any sales, but we're all welcome to bring our own marijuana and we can smoke there. Alright, Fine. So this is what everyone's impression of the event is. Everyone 18 and over can go. If you're 21 and over, you can smoke. And no one needs a card. You don't need anything because they're not selling anything at the event. So you can just go, hang out, visit the vendors, see the music, whatever. So Friday comes around and I head down there and park, $20. My ticket was $65, so I'm already up to $85. Whatever. So I go and I try to go into one of the buildings that has some of the vendors in it. And the security stops me and they're like, hey, you can't go in here unless you have a red wristband. And I'm like, what is that? Just like, what is that? Like 21 and over? What's the red wristband? And he's like, no, like in order to go anywhere that the vendors are, you need to have a wristband that indicates that you have your medical marijuana card. Otherwise, you can't come in. Okay, so High Times never told us that this was going to be the rule and that this is what they were implementing. And if you don't know, there are clinics everywhere that you can go and get your medical card, and it costs about $50 wherever you go. So had they told us this ahead of time, people could have gone and gotten their cards before they came to the event. So they didn't tell anyone, and now in order to actually participate in the event, other than the food trucks and the music, I had to go get a medical marijuana card. But conveniently, they have a doctor on site that can give the cards to people. So I'm like, okay, like I drove down here, paid $85. I'm not just gonna stand around, eat food, and listen to music that I don't even really care about. Like, I came here for the vendors to like see new stuff and like learn new things, see new product, like get to know different shops in the area. Like, I wanted to actually visit the vendors. So I was like, all right, fine, I guess I'll go get certified. And so the difference between having your medical marijuana card and not in California, if you don't have your medical card and you're just buying recreationally, you pay taxes. If you have your medical card, you either don't pay taxes or you pay less taxes. I'm not quite sure about the rule. But having your medical card does save you money in the long run if you're buying a lot of weed. Which, I mean, I don't. I just wanted to go for the event. So I go and I wait in this line to get my card. And there's one line you have to wait in to check in, another line you have to wait in to fill out your paperwork, and then there's a whole waiting area where you have to wait until they call you so a doctor can certify you so you can get your medical marijuana certificate. So I'm standing in this line and I see that they offer an online option where you can get your card online. So I'm on my phone looking it up, trying to do this in line so I can just get into the event. So online they're saying it's $49 to get your card. I sign up, put my credit card information in, and then when it comes to making an appointment, they said there are none until Monday. Okay, fine. So I will stand in this line, waste my time, and get a card here. Whatever. So I'm already frustrated, and everyone else online is frustrated because we were already dealing with the whole permit thing, and now we're dealing with this, and it's just like extra effort that we're having to put forth to go to this event that we paid money for. So, waiting in line, whatever, this lady comes out, and she's like, hey, you know, just so you guys know, if you're waiting, it's $100 for your card, and, you know, we'll print out a certificate for you. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're charging double the amount that not only you charge on your website, but hundreds of other clinics in the area charge. Like, how is that fair? So they're totally taking advantage of this entire situation, trying to get extra money from people. So right now, I'm pissed. Like, are you kidding me? It's gonna end up costing me $185 to be at this event. But I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm here. I've already paid. I'm just gonna do it because I wanna see the vendors. Like, I wanna actually go to the event. So I'm waiting. Whole process ends up taking over an hour. So I finally get my certificate, I go get my red wristband, and I can finally go into where the vendors are. Awesome, cool, whatever, let's finally get this event on the road. So I go into the first building, it's like 75% empty. There's like random vendors, a few scattered here and there, and the rest of the building is empty tents with empty tables and empty chairs because the vendors decided to drop out because of the permit situation. Okay, so I'm like, alright, whatever, it's the first building, let me go outside where there's this whole huge gated off area for the vendors, and, you know, I'm sure there's going to be more out there. Because you can see, like, tops of the tents, and it's, like, lined with tents, so I'm like, okay, fine. So I leave, and I go to the gated area where all the vendors are supposed to be. Same thing. There's, like, 25% of the tents that are filled, and the rest are empty. The vendors did not show up. So, the first part of this whole issue was totally on High Times. Like, they messed up. You should have gotten the permits. You should have gotten people refunds. You should have told us we would have needed our medical marijuana cards before we got to the event. So those 3 issues are completely 100% on them. This, though, I completely put on the vendors. Like, you're not getting your money back. You already signed up to vend at this event, so why would you not show up just because you can't sell marijuana? Which was still happening. People were still selling marijuana, so it's like, it was a whole big deal for nothing. So I just thought that it was super, super dumb and selfish of these vendors to not even show up for those of us who went there to see them. So I think the biggest thing for me that was messed up was that. Like, if I had paid $185 total, all the vendors were there, it was cool, like, I got to meet a bunch of different vendors, I got to see a bunch of new products. Like, okay, cool, it could have been worth it. Like, I could have learned a bunch of stuff, I could have found cool things to buy. But no, I paid $185 to see, like, 20 vendors when there's supposed to be, like, hundreds of them. Like, what? Like, why? Why would they drop out? I don't understand. Like, you're not getting your money back. And yeah, even if you can't sell marijuana, you have other products from your stores that you can sell to people. And it's just a horrible marketing scheme because you're not even going to take advantage of that advertising to all the people who still show up. So I was very, very upset about that. So I was there. I was going to wait to at least see one musical performance because I'm here and there's nothing else to do. So I went and I got some food, stood around, and then the first performer that was going on was Lupe Fiasco, so I stayed for him. It was a cool set, whatever. The setup was nice, like the music quality was fine, like the show was fine, whatever. But then after that I left because, I mean, it was just a hardcore fail all around. And I blame High Times, and I blame the vendors, and I blame that clinic that decided to double their prices and take advantage of the situation. So, would I recommend this event? No, absolutely not. It's absolutely not worth it. Even if they were to get their permits for next year, I just don't trust an event that is so schemy. Like, I feel like they totally wanted to just scam everyone out of their money. Like, it's just like a not good company, I feel, to deal with or give your money to. So I absolutely would not recommend this event. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would say I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. So, yeah, I mean, sucks. And I don't know what's going to come of this. I don't know if people really are going to get together and sue them or, you know, whatever, but I don't know. It was just a major fail, and I'm pretty sure they're going to take a huge hit in the future because of how this year went. So, yeah. Alright, well, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. This was more of a rant than a review. But, yeah, next up is Stagecoach, and I'm pretty confident that's going to be a good event, so I don't think I'll be doing a lot of ranting in the next one. So, hopefully none. But, yeah, we'll see. Be sure to check it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And, I'll see you on the next one.